Yes guys, welcome back to Operation Shredded Dad, or as someone messaged me saying, Operation Shreddad, week 11. Today we've got Push, alongside today's YouTube channel, YouTube episode. I've also been doing a full day of eating on my Instagram, so I'm doing an Instagram reel where I'm running through that. So if you're watching this and you want to see my full day of eating for this day, go on my Instagram and check out what I uploaded on either Tuesday the 26th, which is today, or Wednesday the 27th, because it'll be on there. We're heading into train Push right now. Body weight hit an all-time low yesterday morning of, I believe it was 180.3 or 180.5. Before this week, the lowest was 181.7. which was a couple of weeks ago, but I was ill the day prior. I had a serious case of liquid arse, and then my body weight was just sitting at like 182.5. So basically I'm like on average a pound down each week the last couple of weeks, so I slowed down like I sort of intended to. Why is it dropping? Come on, Pappy. Can you see me? Very dangerous. So yeah, body weight's in a good spot. Performance is brilliant. I feel like the TRT's kicking in a little bit now. Like when I'm not been sleeping great, and I'd only been on the TRT for like 4 or 5 weeks, I feel like I just felt like a normal. But then yesterday I trained pull. This camera's fucking dropping in it. Yesterday I trained pull, and come on, motherfucker. Yesterday I trained pull, and I had like a decent sleep, which for now, anything above 6 hours, like usually 6.5 hours of actual sleep is good. Typically in the past, I'd say like anything above 7 was actually good. But yesterday, like, performance was up, even on movements where last year and the few years prior at this body weight, they wouldn't be up typically. Like a barbell bent over row, any sort of like heavy free weight movement, I usually found as soon as I got like around that like 183 mark or below pounds, performance would start to dip. Whereas yesterday we was up. We did 110 kilos for 6 reps, which is a PB on that for for a long time. So we're happy with how things are going. But I'm going to take you from a push session today. I'm going to do a bit of a voiceover. I promise the camera's going to be better than this. You probably can just see my I don't even know whether this is actually on my face right now because the camera's fucking dropping every time I lift it up. I don't want to crash, so I'm not going to play around with it. But yeah, I'm going to talk you from a chest workout. What I've noticed is, because one, probably because I'm on TRT this time round, and two, I've like purposely slowed. I'm not going like super aggressive with the fat loss like I've done in previous years. Down to them 2 reasons, and also like exercise selection as well. Performance seems to be like keep creeping up, so I'm hopeful for today. I am going to start shifting. I've been doing like a lot of like 6 to 9 rep stuff on my compounds. I'm going to shift to like 8 to 12. Reason being, my theory is I'll be able to tolerate more total number of sets per week. I'll be able to recover easier because I'll be less tired from lifting heavy ass weights. That's my theory. My joints will be happier, so I'm going to try and opt for that. Might mean slightly lighter loads, but hopefully still hit some PBs today. But yeah, we'll see. We'll check it out. Got my 30 grams of Carb-X from Applied Nutrition in the old shaker bottle. Around 15 grams of creatine monohydrate. Some pink salt and low salt because it's been hot as fuck. Hot as balls. And yeah, we're feeling good. Had a cheeky Monster. Only 150 milligrams of caffeine. Haven't opted for the super high caffeine yet. Towards the back end, oh my god, what is my camera doing, man? Usually I like back end of a fat loss phase, once you start to get lean, that's when like the higher caffeine stuff usually comes out to get yourself through the sessions. I don't think I'm there yet. I feel like I feel pretty good. Maybe if when I drop another 5 pounds, I might start having a bit more caffeine pre-workout. But right now, a cheeky Monster or a double espresso is doing me just fine. Right, geezers, I shall see you in there. We'll start off with 5 or 10 minutes on the treadmill, just walking, help get me some steps in, get my head in the zone. I won't record that. And then we always start off with some kind of abs and some kind of calves at the minute, so I'll record that for you as well. Right, see you there. Yes, so this is Le Push session. I'm starting every session at the minute with abs and calves because I want to make sure I have some abs and calves. Calves are especially weak point. Abs are one of them, like you're going to see them more, you get lean, what have you. But they are a weak point still, and there's nothing wrong with having a strong set of abs. Obviously you don't want to have like a bulky midsection, but that's probably not going to happen from doing this type of stuff. Anyways, hanging leg raises, the reason why I love these is, as well as it being a great ab exercise, you're getting the spinal decompression from hanging, which feels great for your back. But you're also really good for your lats, your chest, your shoulder mobility, all that sort of stuff going on there. Like just doing something hanging. I've even started doing these at the end of my workouts, just literally the hanging portion there. And I feel they're so good for my shoulder health and my pecs and my lats and everything. But yeah, when I'm doing these, I'm doing the knees bent variation, they feel better on my abs, and I'm literally just thinking of tucking my tailbone under at the top. Big mistake I see on these with guys is they don't tuck the tailbone at the top and they just turn it into a hip flexor exercise. So make sure you're trying to bend, like flex your spine under to really get that contraction. Did 3 sets of them. After that bad boy, we then went down and did the calves. This was a terrible... Look at the hair, man. What the fuck is that, bro? I shaved my hair off and thought, you know, I can get rid of that bald spot. And then this video here just makes me like fucking Krusty the Clown or some shit. Anyways, we'll have to all put up with this. AKA me and you whilst you're watching this and listening to me. You're going to have to put up with that fucking disgusting bald spot. Right, so calves. Now... I've been doing 3 sets at the start of each workout, same with abs. So I've been doing a total of 12 sets of calves a week and 12 sets of abs, which is, you know, it's a decent volume to train to failure. Not too crazy. I might be able to, you know, I might even push this up when I transition into a gaining phase. But with this, really, the reason why we're doing this particular machine is anything that's straight-legged, like this one or the standing calf raise as opposed to a seated, is going to hit what's called both parts of the calf. So the gastrocnemius, which is the small ball at the top, or for me the very small ball at the top, and then the soleus, which is like a deeper muscle that runs underneath the gastroc. And the soleus, when you're doing like a knees bent variation calf raise, that's the only one that works. Whereas with the straight leg, they both work, so it's just a bit more efficient. Then we went into standing machine laterals. Been doing these with like a 3-1-1 tempo for no other reason, mainly other than just to like, one, I find it easier. On some movements I find it easier to slow it right down just so I can make sure every rep's pretty much the same. But 2, it's just to standardise it so I can tell if I'm progressing or not, and I just make note of that. On this one, we got quite a bit stronger today. I think I did like 2 or 3 reps to my top set, I think. I say top set, I did the same weight for the first 2 sets. I think it's like 40 kilos. When I started out using this about 11 weeks back, I think I was doing like 30 or 25. So definitely seen some progression on this. Something I wasn't pushing hard at all in my powerlifting training. And yeah, really enjoyed it. The pump after this is fucking delicious. So this is another movement. I do 6 sets of this a week, 3 on this day and then 3 on another day. This is another movement where I'll probably increase my total volume for the week. I'm tempted to do it now, but I'll probably wait until I'm in a gaining phase so I can actually, you know, more chance of recovering from it. So that's it. That one's been boxed off. With that as well, by the way, I was thinking of reaching slightly out in front. When you go directly to the sides, you use a bit too much traps. Okay, incline Smith. So this has been bloody delicious. On this one, we're going for 3 seconds on the way down, he says. No pausing at the top, no pausing at the bottom. And I believe I did this set here at 100, well, it's not 100 kilos, 2 plates aside. The reason why we do this is pretty much everyone is lacking upper chest. I'm lacking chest in general, but upper chest specifically. And the reason why we're doing this as opposed to free weights is there's less stability required for this. You can just focus on force output, which is inevitably what's going to help you produce the muscle. And as you get leaner and lighter, things like dumbbell presses I've found in the past can just fall off a cliff, whereas like stuff like this, where the stability is produced for you, you can just focus on getting the muscle through some good work.
So I do tend to like a lot of like machine-based work when I'm a little bit lighter in body weight and getting leaner. Just less stability required. With that being said, just completely talking shit there because I'm doing some dips now, aren't I? But they're quite a stable movement, these. This was a PB today. I did 30 kilos. I can't remember how many reps I got, but it was a PB. I did, however, just fucking YOLO it with the speed of the reps because I was having some goddamn fun. I was just in the merge, feeling animalistic. I think I got 8 or 7 or some shit. And then just to punish myself for being a naughty boy and doing that, and then did some slow reps after with just a plate, just 15 kilos rather than 30, and I think I only got 6 reps on this. And this is the tempo I've been doing these every single week, mainly. It was just today where I got excited and didn't fucking sent it with 30. The reason why we're doing this, by the way, guys, I feel it great on my chest. A lot of people do, and I'm seeing it as a decline chest press. So I'm leant over, chin tucked, head down, and they felt good. Ooh, this is a good one. So, pec deck, right? Fucking pay attention to the setup. Arse shuffled forwards, so it's a bit more of a decline. Chest up. They are the cues. I'm trying to cue, even though it's not physically possible, to lift my chest higher than my shoulders. And I'm also maintaining that high chest throughout. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking my forearms out of the movement by just pressing my wrist against it. And it feels better on the pecs. Also, you'll notice is I'm internally rotating my hands as I come forwards. That's because the pec, as well as bringing your arm across your body, it also internally rotates your arm. So that's why I'm getting like an extra sweet contraction doing that. And I'm not just thinking of bringing the handles together, I'm only thinking of driving my biceps together. And look how light the weight was. I think I did like 25 pounds there, or 25 kilos or some shit. Whereas there was a young lad with me that probably weighed about 9 stone that was doing like 75. But yeah, with isolations, guys, just treat them like isolations. Make them as hard as you can for yourself and get more out of it. Compound movements, lift as heavy as you can with good technique. Isolations, make it as hard as you can for yourself and just make that muscle work. So we've got the tricep push down. Did 3 sets of this and then 3 sets of overhead. My triceps felt fucking fried the days following this, by the way. What I'm thinking on the way up is I'm thinking elbow back, and that's to get more range of motion at the elbow joint, and therefore more range of motion at the tricep. So you notice I'm driving elbow back on the way up. And on the way down, I'm thinking hand back. And the reason why I'm thinking hand back on the way down is the tricep is what is called a biarticulate muscle. So it doesn't just articulate at the elbow, it also articulates at the shoulder as well. So if you just think of straightening the elbow, yes, you will get a good contraction, but if you think of pressing back behind you as well, you'll get an even sweeter contraction again still, because the tricep helps the elbow extend, but it also helps the shoulder extend as well, guys. So a bit of an anatomy lesson there for you. I do my right hand side first because for whatever reason, my right hand is weaker than my left on this variation. And you might think, why does he not have a mad range of motion at the elbow joint? Well, it's because my left elbow, I hurt it playing rugby when I was like 13 or some shit. And it just crunches if I go past that 90-degree mark, especially when my elbow's like down by my side. So I only just I come up to the point of which my left elbow can come to, and I just mimic that. I try and mimic that with my right one. But yeah, that felt fucking delicious. Single arm, obviously, to work on imbalances. So that was first tricep, and then second tricep exercise, single arm overhead. Now, with this one, I was quite impressed with it. I fucking thought, man, boy's looking kind of semi-jacked here. I'm quite happy with this. Also, very happy to be bald again. Just so happy. I felt like such a kid after like 18 months there. I was just keeping Mrs. happy, but this is all me. Right, so the reason why we're doing overhead is because when you do an overhead tricep extension, you work the long head of the triceps. The triceps got 3 heads, and one of which is the long head. And you really, and like I said before, the triceps are biarticulate muscle, which means it attaches at the shoulder as well. And that's why having the arm at different angles hits it differently, because it does articulate the shoulder too. So this is getting into a better stretch than you can do anything with your arm by your side as well. So I'm getting a fucking stretch on the tricep, not just at the same portion of the tricep I did with the other variation, the push down, but also with that long head too. So it just helps target that a little bit more. Makes your tricep look bigger from this angle. And then on this, we was going for 10 to 15 reps, which felt really good. And the reason why we do 10 to 15 is because you try and do like less reps on this, it just beats up your joints quite a bit, or it does for me anyways. Like that left elbow, does a bit of crunching if I do too much range of motion. Well, it kind of does a bit of crunching if I go too heavy on it as well. So yeah, and I think this is going to be a theme for me going forwards, is doing slightly higher rep range rather than opting for 6 to 9 like I've been doing. Maybe going for like, trying to go for 10 to 15 or at least 8 on most things, because I just seem to be able to tolerate more working sets that way, just because my body's not as beat up. And ultimately, the goal right now is to obviously get lean and get in shape right now, but the goal is always to drive performance and build muscle. And whichever way you can tolerate more training and still progress the logbook is what's going to ultimately do that for you. So, yeah, food for thought. Also use the cuff there, feels delicious. And that's the session wrapped up. This is me in the sunbed room. If anyone ever sees me walk into the sunbed room with a tripod and wonder why he's never getting a tan, still so pale, it's because I don't actually go use a sunbed. I'm just being a vain bastard. So these are visuals on Tuesday the 26th. I'm really happy with this look. Something I've noticed definitely is my legs are not as... I came across a picture of me bald in 2024 around this time of year, and I was leaner now. But what I've noticed is my upper body's bigger this time around, but my legs are smaller. And that's just because I had that quad strain whilst I was powerlifting training last year. And I've only been doing 4 sets of quads a week at the minute, whereas my upper body's been getting a good old pasting. And I'm obviously on TRT now, which some guys will experience a bit more water retention in the shoulders and the traps, as supposedly that's where men have most of their androgen receptors. So if you're on TRT, you will get a little bit more of a localized, more jacked look up there. But yeah, legs need to come up, and just added in 2 extra sets this week of front squats on the Smith, and it seemed to have worked. So hopefully they're up in no time. But yeah, guys, that is push session complete. And that's me posing done. Gosh.
Right, guys, push done. That was a delicious session. Fucking hell, triceps. I already feel like I've got DOMS. For those that don't know, DOMS, it means delayed onset muscle soreness. It's the aching you get like a few days after, and usually it peaks at 48 hours. And I feel like I've already fucking got it in my triceps, which is fucking nuts, which I don't usually get. So yeah, really good session. I did an extra set of Smith press. I've been just doing 1 set of Smith press. I am quite a few weeks back. Because basically the reason why was I started off with 2 sets on most of my compounds, 3 sets of most of my isolations. What typically happens is as you get further into a fat loss phase, fatigue builds, your ability to recover is not as good. So quite a sensible thing to do is, if you see performance going down, is bring down the number of sets to keep performance high. And I was quite quick to jump the gun with that on my push day. And basically I brought myself down to like 1 working set of Smith press after like the first week. Then like in other sessions I didn't have to change anything, and in hindsight, like if I was coaching someone, I'd have looked at that and I thought, well, incline Smith press, you're coming down, you're touching your chest, you physically, because you're dropping a lot of body fat, you're physically getting thinner from front to back. You know, even if you're holding on to muscle, like if you lose a stone of body fat over your full body, 14 pounds, there's going to be a little bit of stability leaving there. So there is some exercises where a little bit of performance dip, like don't necessarily worry about it. And also, like, even if you do have a performance dip and it's not an exercise where you've got like a noticeable range of motion difference or what have you, or stability difference, like a bicep curl in a machine, for example, just wait another session. Don't just be so quick to jump to bringing the volume down or adjusting things. Like, it might have just been a one-off. So anyways, today I brought it back up to 2 sets and performance was fine. I hit 100 kilos for 8 reps, not 100, sorry, 2 plates aside on the incline Smith, probably like fucking 80 kilos, who knows. I hit that for 8 reps, which is the same I haven't done that weight in a while. I've been doing 105, and I've just been getting like 6 reps or 5 reps every week for like 3 or 4 weeks. Last time I did 2 plates aside was like 7 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago when I weighed like 190 pounds, and now I'm like 180.5 or whatever. And I got the same reps. I got 8, and then I did a back offset. That was with a 3-second negative. Then I did a back offset at 80, and I did 14, which felt awesome. But anyways, great session. I've already spoke about the session in there, haven't I? When I do the voiceover, I forgot. You've already listened to me do that. But yeah, feeling awesome. I feel like I'm in the best shape all around that I've ever been in. Just buzzing with it. Obviously, like you can tell, like in this video now you're watching me, I just like a normal, look kind of just like a skinny guy. You know, I do look kind of thin at the minute. But like now I'm getting to that leanness where if I'm posing, for example, post-workout shot here, I'm looking like way more jacked. So it's one of them, it's all an illusion, right? Body fat's coming down. Performance on the whole is sound. It was going up in my pull session yesterday and everything. Today on the push session, tricep press downs overhead extension performance went up. Incline Smith performance held. Dips, technically I hit a PB, but I didn't do any like controlled tempo on that set. I just sent it. So I think like today's push session performance was probably the same on the big compounds, and then on the isolations everything improved. So I can't argue with that. That was great. Felt brilliant. On to the bloody next. I'm going to do some more educational YouTubes as well. I think they do better on my channel, probably because I'm not like a beast yet. So I don't think my vlogs sometimes do good, sometimes they don't. I think part of that is literally just because I've maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not fucking jacked enough. Maybe it's because I'm not working towards a competition, I'm just getting in shape. I don't fucking know. You gotta be somebody, aren't you, to get a lot of views sometimes. But we're cooking, we're gonna keep busting them out. Educational stuff, that's definitely my jam. End of the day, I've got the client base to prove I know my shit. I'm not just another guy that's got abs. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more educational stuff out. In the meantime, if there is anything you want to see or learn about, let me know. Keep busting out the vlogs, even if the views aren't super high yet. Keep consistent, even when you don't see a result. I've seen that today, Alex Hormozi quote. The world is owned by people that can keep putting in the effort without seeing a result. Fucking big quote, that. Another one for you before I go. Suffering ceases to become suffering as soon as you have a meaning for the suffering. Big. Right. See you next time. I'll stop talking shit. Hope you're having a great week. Hope your family's good. See you there.